Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Western series, D Bougie 86 here again, and I have another Western for you guys. And this one has a very interesting release. This film is a 2011 film that was actually put out by one of my favorite companies, Unearthed Films. As you know, Unearthed is pretty much mostly known for like their extreme horror films that they put out. But like I said in my previous review of Rock and Rule, they put out some different titles here and there. And this is one that's no exception, and it goes by the title of The Scarlet Worm. Yes, look at that cover art. This film is directed by Michael Fredianelli, who I don't know much of his filmography. I know he directed a few films here and there. One that's actually that he just directed now has like some weird like animation tropes to it. So I'm very curious to see more of this director's work in the future. It's a pretty much standard Western of a Western. It actually has an interesting cast. It stars Aaron Stilstra, Dan Van Hoosen, and Montgomery Ford. And Montgomery Ford's a very interesting actor because I pretty much know him from his other name, Brett Hazley, of course, star of like Touch of Death and The Devil's Honey, two films from Lucio Fulci's catalog. So I know him from his other name that he goes through acting like Brett Hazley. But pretty much the main plot is when we're introduced to our main character, Print, who's played by Aaron Stresdal, who's this middle-aged hired gun who pretty much is hired to do these assassinations for his boss, Mr. Paul, played by Montgomery Ford, aka Brett Hazley. And when we meet Print, he's a very interesting character because he doesn't just do like killings and stuff. He does like this poetic thing where he has like this poetic touch and vague with his assassinations. Like he leaves an imprint on his prey, pretty much. And he has a new assignment that he has to kill this brothel owner, Clay, played by Dan Van Hoosen, who's very methods of his brothel is he does like these abortions to his hookers and stuff, and they're very taboo on that subject in the film, which I'll get more into like the title of the film itself. But pretty much he ends up taking the job, but he has this Mr. Paul actually gives him two things to do and tasks to do with this job. One is he is taking an apprentice on who he is teaching the way of the gun, and also Mr. Paul gives him the great order of he has to do this quick and dirty. He can't have like that poetic like touch and feel to like his other killings in the past. Pretty much he wants it really done quickly and dirty. So that is pretty much the main plot. It's pretty much Print taking this apprentice on, and they're doing the job and finding out what is going to happen with the job and the characters into Lion and going forward. It's pretty much the main plot of it. Now, my thoughts on the film. Interesting Western, I have to say, because it deals with like that taboo of abortion and stuff that you don't really get to see in a lot of these type of films, especially with the brothel aspect of it. And the character of Clay is interesting because he tells this tale of the Scarlet Worm and what it does to women and stuff. And it pretty much is like the subject matter of abortion. That's what the whole title of the film is about. And it's very interesting, like with the characters and their takes on this as the film progresses. And it's very interesting, the character of Print, because he builds as a character as the film progresses, and it's a very interesting character, especially how his character ends up. I don't want to really spoil it for you, but it's a very interesting way, and the way that his character comes full circle pretty much throughout the film. And of course, the two main steals of this film are the portrayal of Mr. Paul and Clay, both done tremendously by Montgomery Ford and Dan Van Hoosen, who do terrific roles, especially with the deaths and the speeches that their characters give throughout the film. And the cinematography is beautiful in this film. I forgot to mention, for a newer type Western, it has great like cinematography for aspects. There's like this one scene where it's like a kind of like a weird like silent montage where it turns like the color of the camera and it looks kind of like old school like film style, and it's really fucking beautiful. I have to say, like the way that the cinematography in the film and the designs of the sets, because you feel like you're in like this dirty old western like town, especially when they're in the brothel and all the girls have like dirt and bruises and uh, this look dirty, you know what I mean? It has like that dirty feel, like you're really in like this western town with like this taboo subject matter, and it's just an interesting film, of course, especially with like the aspects of like the stuff. I do like the characters, and there's some really great like gun action in this film. There was like these sprays of blood and shit that happen within the film that are fucking awesome, and you don't really get to see that with like a lot of like these newer type westerns because they have like that aspect of like not showing any violence and stuff. But this like shows like the blood spraying, like you're watching like one of those like old school like Italian spaghetti westerns that I always grew up loving, especially with like their spray of blood and stuff. So it has like that aspect to it that I really do dig. So yeah, it's a very interesting film. It's not really deep in characters though, because the characters are pretty straightforward with what's going on within the plot and the story. So that has that going for it too, because it is pretty much a basic story where we're just following this old hired gun and doing like what he does pretty much. But I did like the aspect of how the film ended too, because it had like ending like I didn't actually see the ending coming, like how the whole like end scene and how the characters and what happens to the character and how it happens and stuff to them, you know what I mean? It has like that aspect where I thought it was going to go a different direction and it didn't. So that was really interesting to see like how this film actually ended and stuff. And it was just an aspect that I really enjoyed. And like I said, like great acting performances for like an indie film makes it a stellar film, because westerns you have to follow these like characters through like some slow build up like moments and stuff, because it's a western, so you follow the characters through their dialogue, and they have like a lot of like good interaction with each other and a lot of like good action interaction with like the scenery and stuff too, which I really did dig, especially with like the subject matter this film is bringing to us, with like the abortion aspect and the double crossing between characters within each other. So I really did enjoy this film for what it was. If I had to rate the Scarlet Worm, it's getting a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Really solid like indie style western from Michael Fredianelli, who did a great job directing this film. Great like scenery, like I said, and great acting, and cinematography is amazing. I highly recommend this release from Unearthed Films. You can get this either on DVD or Blu-ray from Unearthed. I'll leave the link below to where you can get it. For special features, we have 2 audio commentaries. The first is with writer David Lambert and members of the cast, and another audio commentary with actors / producers Mike Malo and Eric Zaldivar. I believe that's how you pronounce that. I probably butchered the hell out of that. And we get a behind the scenes and trailers, and it also comes with Spanish subtitles. So yeah, Scarlet Worm, highly recommend this film and this release from Unearthed. Awesome shit. Alright guys, that's it for this review for the Western series. I'll be back with another one sooner. I might have to do 2 this month, since I missed 2 months of these. So I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you next video guys. Peace out.